Hello everyone. This is Brad back with YogaPod, the YogaPod feed here. So it's going to be a level 3 class. We call it our a podFlow3. And so we're going to work on some more complex postures. I'll get this set up here real quick for myself, just so I can make sure to have it, so I can tell what's going on. And so for today specifically, I think that it is, all right. So I think that one of the kind of funny things about today is the weather is adding a different complexity. It's windy, it's sunny out, it was hailing earlier today. And I think that in those moments of chaos, we have this kind of tendency to be kind of blown back, depending on what's going on during the day. We get blown back and forward, and things kind of feel like they're always all up in the air and everything. And it's true that in general, weather situations can create that and can cause that. And at the same time, like, that's just life, right? Life is throws stuff at us in all sorts of different ways. As we get going today, I wanted to kind of bring up this mantra. My wife's been doing some meditation work, and she was given the mantra Samprati Hum, or Hum. And when you look it up in the Sanskrit, what it translates as is that the true self can only be recognized within the present moment. And what that really entails is that as we move through life, we're constantly thinking about what's going on in the past, or what's going on, what might be happening in the future, and we're thinking about something that's going on outside of the context of our own immediate reality. And when we do yoga, when we do a yoga practice that is vigorous, or that a yoga practice that maybe is, exceptionally stilling, the nature of the practice should bring us to points or moments of deep internal awareness and reflection. And that's really the yoga aspect of it. So it's not so much about how intense the posture is or how perfect the posture is, but more so it's about how the accessing of the pose becomes a avenue or a vehicle for that self-realization, or that understanding of the self. Another way to phrase it is in the Yoga Sutras. Patanjali kind of starts off with the idea that yogas, or it's Atta Yoga Anushasanam, which means now yoga, or now it becomes the exposition of yoga, or the teaching of yoga. And what a lot of people will have different ideas of what that interpretation means. But for me personally, what it means is that now yoga takes place. Yoga takes place only in the present moment. And so when we're doing all sorts of different things, and where our mind is going off to those different ideas of what we've got to do later, what we did earlier today that went well, that didn't go so well, all of those things are important aspects of who we are as people. At the same time, when we're doing our yoga practice, our idea, our goal is to move into that present moment, to move into a space where we can then really rest in our true self, and be kind of one with our more authentic self for just a short time of being. And it might happen that it's just for an instance, one class at a time. Maybe it's just an instance several times in the class. Over a period of time, we want to bring those things together. And so then, why do you ask? Why a level 3 class? Why do we need to have these complex postures, or these this more vigorous practice? And the idea, in many ways, the idea is that by adding complexity, it stills the mind. It causes the mind to kind of have moments of stunningness, where it kind of stuns it. You could have this similar action doing many different activities. Walking in nature might be one of the best ways to do that. But when we're able to artificially do it on our yoga mat, when we're able to come to a space of regularity, and then enter into that space when we are present, we are truly within that moment, it does provide us with a practice. And that really is our practice, is learning to abide in our own truth, and to see from our own specific perspective, from a real authentic space. And so I'll leave you with that. When things get tough, that's exactly where you want to be. When things are difficult, that's when you know that you can just dissolve into that space. And so that's where we'll start. Go ahead and bring your big toes to touch, your knees towards the outside, and extend the arms out in front for child's pose. Samprati Hum. And when it comes to discovering that present moment, or that self, one of the best ways for doing that is to listen to the sound of the breath. And as you breathe, see if you can start to feel the sensation of the breath as it moves through your body. And then when you're ready, on your inhale, come up into tabletop. And you can rock side to side a time or two, warming up the wrists, pressing into the mat, creating some space in your arms, your forearms, your shoulders, the front side of your chest, so the front side of your shoulders, so you can lean forward, bend the elbows a little bit, rock it back, getting some good action in the shoulders, nothing too technical. So allowing yourself to warm up. Just the sensation itself should start to provide an access point for how you are choosing to negotiate the present moment reality. And then go ahead and come to seated. Bring your hips towards your heels. Bring your hands to heart center. And we'll start with 3 ohms. Take a deep breath, inhaling. And then from there, go ahead and find your down dog. As you root into your down dog, maybe bending the knees, and again, sensing the territory, pedaling out the legs a little bit, bending the arms, the shoulders, finding some space in the joints, creating some movement in your spine. Likely, if this is your first practice, this isn't the one that you meant to click on. Level 3 practice, I don't give quite so many cues, more directions and opportunities, offering different actions in the body rather than real distinct alignment. And then from here, go ahead and inhale, come into what I call kind of an awkwardly high plank. So we want to lift the hips up really, really high. Come forward into our plank pose. Bring your chin towards your chest and hold there. Pull the navel back. Pull the belly button deep in towards the spine. Way up onto the toes. Push into the floor. Push your shoulders long into the mat. What we want to resist is the tendency to collapse into the shoulders, but push up out of the shoulder joints. Push back through your heels a little bit, but stay way up on the toes. So you want to feel your inner thighs pull back. Push into the floor. Push into the fingers. And then rock back to your downward facing dog. Step forward about a foot or so. Push your hands into the mat quite vigorously up onto your toes. Chin drawn towards your chest. Really blow up the back of the body. Deepen the breath, Ujjayi breathing. Then release your heels back, pedal out the legs, maybe roll out your wrists. Walk it forward another step or so, 6 to 8 inches. Bring the weight into the hands, and then up onto your toes. Push into the mat. Squeeze in. No need to hold any extra tension in your chest or in your neck, so let your head be heavy. Push from your chest, outsides of the armpits, hug in a little bit. Push into the floor. Release your heels down. Walk it forward just a little bit more. Press your palms into the mat. Lift up onto the hands. Lift up onto your toes. Push into the mat. Squeezing. Dome the upper back. Push your palms down. Lift your hips up. Push your palms down. Lift your hips up. Release your heels down to the floor. Bow in. Take your hands back. Bring your palms down to the floor. Fingertips point back. Walk some energy back. Push into the mat. Bring it forward. Inhale, lift your heart forward. Exhale, fold. And then bend the knees as you need to. Rise up to the top. Palms press. Arms to the side. Samastitihi. So Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms come up to the sky, sun salutation. Do I exhale, fold forward, bring your hands down, bend your knees as you need. Inhale, fill up the lungs, but breathe into the back of the body. Knees and ribs pressing together. As you exhale, step back or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog, inhale, and then down dog. Exhale, hips towards the sky. And then from here, let's do some down dog push-ups. I decided I want to face this direction. So for down dog push-ups, push into the floor with your hands, and then come forward, bend the elbows towards the outside, and back up. So bring your forehead or your chin towards the floor. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And then down dog. Take a deep breath in your down dog. Press the breath out, look forward. Floater step to the front, lift your chin from your chest, pull your heart forward. Exhale, fold deeply forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rise up to the top, press the palms together. Exhale, arms to the side, Samastiti. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lift your heart to the sky. As you exhale, Chaturanga. Up dog, inhale, down dog, exhale. Let's lift up the left leg, open it up to the side, push into the mat with both arms. So push, let the hip open up to the side, push down with your right hip, and then bend the knee and let the toes come back. Toes come back, pushing into the floor with your hands, pushing into the floor with your foot. Then taking little mandala circles. And then switching directions. Making movement with the hip. Take your left leg up higher. As you exhale, bring your toes towards your left wrist. So pull it forward. Squeeze. Let's do that 4 more times. Squeeze. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Bring it back, and then release. Second side, lift up your right leg this time, and open it up to the side. So find the leg straight initially. The straight leg will allow you to really extend up out of the groin. Then bend the knee, and it's easy to slouch into your left arm. Push into the floor with both arms. Wrap your triceps in a little bit. Make your circles. 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction, 2, and then 3. Then lift the legs straight up and bring your right toes towards your right wrist. Squeeze. 1, 4 more, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Step forward or float to the front. Lift your chin up off your chest. Exhale, fold deep. Inhale, rise up to the top. Deep breath, reach up. Exhale, arms to the side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands press into the mat. Inhale, lift your heart up. As you exhale, bend your elbows. Float back, low push-up. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. And from here, if you have a wall handy, it might be useful for you. Try not to use the wall for these kicks because we're not really working on handstand. We're just working on the engagement of it. So the leg straight, almost like we're bringing it towards our wrist. We're going to keep that leg nice and strong. Other leg is strong as well. And then look in between your thumbs, and then maybe 3 times kicking up towards just a 1-leg handstand. So up, give it 3 goes, 2, and then 3, switching sides. Right leg comes up, look forward, and up. 1, 2, and 3. Back to down dog, have a breath. And step forward or float to the front. Inhale, lift chin from chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to the top. Exhale, arms to the side, Samprati Hum. Arms up, inhale. Down, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. And then down dog. Then here from this one, let's go ahead and take our right leg up to the sky. Bring knee to nose, hug in, squeeze way up on your left toes. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze. Inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, squeeze. Leg comes up and then release it down. Left leg, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, squeeze. Again, inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, squeeze. And then release. Down dog. One breath here in down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, float forward or step to the front. Inhale, lift chin from chest. Exhale, fold deeply forward. Inhale, rise up to the top, reach up. Exhale, arms to the side, Samprati Hum. One more time, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog, inhaling. Down dog, exhaling. And breathing. And this time, instead of the handstand with the legs straight, just like we did with that curling in action on the previous pose, we're going to do one-legged hops with one leg tuck. So let's start with the left leg up straight. Bend the right leg. The right leg's going to hug into the rib cage. Now, just as if we lifted the leg up. So come on. Squeeze. 1, 2, 3, switching sides. Right leg up, find that tuck. Squeeze. 1, 2, and 3. Release down. Deep breath here, inhale. As you exhale, look forward, float forward or step to the front. Inhale, lift chin from chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the top. Exhale, arms to the side, Samprati Hum. And then that same vinyasa actions, those are your jump forwards, so you can jump up into the splits form before coming into your crescent lunge, or you can take that tuck form at the same time. So experiment with it. I want to make sure that there's space for you to experience those moments. So just real quick, if I'm stepping forward with my right foot, maybe my left leg comes up and I want to find the jump, the tuck in before I land. Come up into my crescent pose, maybe hands down, I lift up, and then I take it back to Chaturanga. Okay, so those are the different ways in which we can approach these different transitions. We'll do 4 of them. It's going to feel like a lot, but it'll feel so good. Again, try to find the present moment. Think about those ideas that kick you out of it. All right, let's start with Utkatasana, because every good vinyasa starts with Utkatasana. Arms up, inhale, reaching. Exhale, fold, hands down. Lift your chin up off your chest. Exhale, low push-up pose, Chaturanga. Up dog, and then down dog. Find your way to your crescent lunge with your right leg. So left leg might come up, look forward, come up, land with the right foot, left heel, left foot down, arms come up, inhale, crescent. Exhale, hands down, make your transition. Maybe you just step back or you float, you bend the elbows to Chaturanga, up dog. Down dog, left leg, crescent lunge, so right leg might come up, lift up, place the foot, back foot down, arms up, inhale, exhale the hands down, lift up on inhale, exhale Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Couple of breaths. Deep breath, inhale. Finish out the exhale, look forward, front of the mat. Lift your heart open, inhale. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana, inhale, arms up. Exhale, Samastihiti. 3 more, arms up, Utkatasana, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart, shift weight into the hands, lift up. Chaturanga, up dog. And then down dog, right leg for your crescent lunge. Lift up, place the foot. Come on up, inhale. Exhale, hands down. Lift up. And chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Right leg up, inhale. Place the foot, crescent lunge. Arms come up, reach to the sky. Place the hands, shift the energy forward, lift up, low push up, chaturanga. Hips high. Three, 4, finish the exhale, and 5, forward. Inhale. Lift your heart, exhale, fold. Utkatasana, arms up. Samastihiti. Utkatasana, set deep, arms up, reach, fold. Inhale, lift chin up off the chest, bring the weight forward, lift up. Chaturanga, bent elbows. Exhale, hips high. Right leg crescent lunge. Arms up. Hands down. Step back or float back, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg forward. Arms up, inhale. Exhale. Up. And then chaturanga, up dog, down dog. So 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finish the exhale. And 5, forward. Inhale, lift chin from chest. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Samastihiti. Again, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, fold. Lift the heart open. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. And then down dog. Right leg crescent lunge. Place the foot. And up, inhale. Exhale. Lift up. And chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Float up. And arms come up, inhale. Exhale. Vinyasa. Hips high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Forward. Lift your heart. Fold deep. Utkatasana. Arms up. Samastihiti. Exhaling. Last one. You choose. Arms up. Fold. Lift your heart. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Down dog. Right leg, crescent lunge. And then arms up, inhale. Exhale. up dog, down dog. Arms up, exhale, and up, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finish the exhale. And 5, float or step. Inhale, lift chest. Full. Utkatasana, arms up. Inhale. As you exhale, come to stand Samastihitihi. And from here, we'll work on Utkatasana a little bit. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Push your hands down towards the floor. Feel the back body kind of compress a little bit through your lower back. And now take the weight to the heels. Drop the tailbone, pull the heart open. Lift your chin up, try not to collapse the back of the neck. But lift the chin up, lift the sternum up. Hold in that point there, tailbone down. Draw the tailbone down, weight to the heels. Arms come up. Interlace your fingers. Pull the arms back behind your ears. 2, more weight to the heels. 3, 4, and then 5. Interlace your fingers back behind you again. Ribs on thighs. And then inhale, opposite little finger in front. Pull it back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands down to the floor. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga, or step back into chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. So right leg, warrior 1. So lifting up your right leg. If you'd like to jump forward, you can do so by lifting up your left leg. Right leg can come up, step to lunge. Back heel down, come up into your warrior pose. Arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Warrior 2. Open up into warrior 2. Root down through your front big toe mound. Press your heel down. Outside of the heel, rooting in. But then wrap your heel so that the outside of your heel to the inside of your heel. Across the front of the ankle. 4, 5. Take your left hand. Reach back. Right arm reaches back. Long body reaching. Pull the rib cage up out of the left hip as you reach further. Then inhale, come forward. As you exhale, take triangle posture, extend out. Reach down, find your big toe. Left arm up to the sky. And 1, 2. Push that front leg longer into the floor. 3, 4, 5. Look down at the floor, bend your right leg. Come up into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Charge your back leg, don't let it be limp. Instead, hug in, pull the belly button in, roll the collarbones back. 3, 4, and then 5. Look down to the floor, bend your right leg, warrior 2. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm long, push. Shin bone moves forward. Draw your inner thigh of the left leg back. 3, 4, and then 5. Warrior 2. Inhale, bring it up. As you exhale, hands down to the floor. Step back, high plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Come forward into dolphin dog. Feet or arms parallel with one another. Hold here. If it's available to you, forearms stand. You can also do a turbo dog. What's a turbo dog, you ask? I'm glad I asked you. Right? Come up and then float the arms off the floor. So it's down dog with your arms basically floating. And then 5, from there, find your way back to your down dog. I was going to count to 10, but turbo dog is that hard. I was like 5, and I was over it. All right, left leg, warrior 1. Lift the left leg up, step to your lunge, hug in, bring your back outer heel down to the floor, rise up. Take the thumbs, pull them back, reach your arms up. Take the tailbone, Reach up, Samprati Hum. Right, reaching up to the sky. Maybe your palms are together like they were the first time. They're apart. I won't tell. 4, and then 5. Warrior 2. Open up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip your front palm, flip your back palm, reaching back. In each breath, there's an opportunity to sink a little bit deeper into that present moment, to stop fighting and start kind of surrendering into the space of the breath. Inhale, come back up. As you exhale, Trikonasana, extend your front leg straight, reach down, find your big toe, peace sign, finger, thumb, reach up to the sky. Coil the tailbone in so you're really engaged through the front body core. Then roll the shoulder open. And then 5, look down to the floor, bend your front leg, half moon. Ardha Chandrasana, charge that back leg, make it strong. Lift up with the outer glute muscle. 3, 4, and then 5, look down, bend your front leg, coming up into Warrior 2. Extend out, left hand to the outside, right arm long, extended side angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, come up, and then exhale, hands down, step back, high plank pose, lower down, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, hips to the sky, then forearms, dolphin, turbo dog, or forearm stand. So for forearm stand, press your hands into the floor, root them in nice and strongly. Come up onto your toes, lift up one leg, then lift them both up. 1, about 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Find your way back to your down dog. Push into the floor, arms up. Nice, take a deep breath here, inhale. Finish out the exhale, look forward, front of the mat. Inhale, lift chin from chest. Exhale, fold. Rise up on inhale, and then step back. One leg to the back of the mat, so you're facing the camera, or actually the screen here. Root the tailbone, inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands down to the floor, lift your heart open. Exhale, head towards the mat. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, lift your heart forward. Exhale, pause there. Squeeze through your hips. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come up. So when we come into that part, it's easy to flop back down or just to lose concentration. Hug and hold for that, just an instant there. Maintain that engagement as you come up. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward, and we'll just pause here for a moment. Bring your hands down, lift your heart up. And then as you exhale, fold in a little bit deeper. Walk your hands back, press into the floor. Lift your heart forward, lengthen. Now let's work on that exit again. Inhale, come up. Exhale, squeeze your core. Pull your belly button back to the spine, your tailbone towards the floor. Hands to the waist. Inhale, come up. So there's a moment there when you can really feel the core engaged. Reach your arms out, interlace your fingers behind you. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your head down to the floor, look up towards the sky. Let your wrists draw towards the mat out in front of you. You can sway the hips side to side a little bit. That can give you a little bit of freedom, but then let yourself be. 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, come on up, deep breath. Exhale at the top, take your arms out, bring your hands back to your waist. Inhale, lift the heart high. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down, grab your heels or your big toes or the sides of the feet. Inhale, lift the heart forward. Exhale, fold deeply, elbows wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, And then 5. Inhale, lift your heart forward. Exhale, bring your hands to your waist. Inhale, come on up. And then exhale, step to the front of your mat. Samastihiti. Nice. And then from here, go ahead and step your foot back so you're more towards the middle of your mat. And then from here, what I want to work on is some basic mobility work, and with that in mind, then working up onto our hands for a back bend against kind of a back bend scorpion type posture. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our feet here, but we're going to we're going to bend our knees and come into almost a crow pose. So bringing your hands down to the mat, bring your knees wide, and then from here, take your elbows, push out, hug. Now take your knees and squeeze in. As you squeeze in, push weight back towards your heels. Try to bring your weight back into the heels. Some people have more mobility than I do in their ankles, and so you might even be able to bring your heels all the way flat. Otherwise, negotiate some space. Squeeze your shoulders. You might be right here. This could be fine. Or reaching out, dropping a thumb. So drop the thumb down, reach back. Take your other thumb back, reach back. Maybe you can grab behind your hips or just interlace your fingers. Let your head go. Squeeze your knees in a little bit. Hug in. Nice and tight. Squeeze the knees in. Press out. Let your head come down towards the floor. Maybe it touches. Maybe you grab a wrist. Maybe your mobility is such that your heels are on the ground, the head is on the ground, you're grabbing a wrist and you're drawing your body into a nice tight little ball. And then 5. Inhale, slowly unwrap. As you exhale, squeeze your knees in, hug. Taking crow pose, keep your big toes touching, keep your heels moving towards one another. Squeeze your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Release it down. So as we work into this next little variation of postures, we're going to extend one leg from our crow, and then we're going to bring it back. We'll extend the other leg. So it'll look something like this. So hands down. We'll push into the floor. We'll come up into crow. Squeeze in. Once you're there, extend the right leg. Bring it back. Extend the left leg. Bring it back. Right. Left. One more time. Right. Left. And then crow. And bring it back down. So just working on extension from a coiled or a tucked form. So the leg pulls in, then we extend. Another way to look at it, you could do that one again if you didn't quite have an opportunity to work on it. Matter of fact, let's do it again. So the leg extends, a hug in. Generally, we do it one time, but I don't think I gave the great instruction on it. So as we do, push through your toes, push through your heel, flex your toes back. It gives you a little bit more space. So press into the floor with your arms, squeeze your shoulders. Same thing as before, arms press down, strong through the arms, lifting up, and then right leg, 1, left, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, release down. So, see, lots of fun. From there, go ahead and bring your hips down to the floor, legs out in front. I'm going to tilt this way. So, taking your hands, claw at the floor, pull it back like you're trying to strip the first layer off of your mat. Not the whole thing, just the first layer. Pull. As you do, pull with all of your core, your part of the core. Now with your heels, pull it back. Try to drag the mat back. Squeeze in, pull, squeeze. Now lift your legs, your heels off the floor. Keep pulling back. Arms are like you're pulling as well. So your shoulders almost feel like they're pulling back. Squeeze the knees in, and then lift the legs up. Hug them in. Inhale, exhale. Try to keep the knees up towards your armpits. Reach, squeeze, reach, squeeze. Lay down. And then inhale, bring the knee up, extend through the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Bend the knee, release down. So the difference is, if I wanted to do it the old-fashioned easy way, I might just lift the leg up, and that's going to do something different. Instead, bend the knee, hug it in as tight as you can. Squeeze in, lift the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then release. I think I did that at the same time, way on both sides. Then bring your feet, a little bit of an angle here. Pull with your feet. Feel your lower back kind of bunches up a little bit. So pull your belly button down. Now, from here, pull the knees up into the chest. Press your hands down. We don't want to lift the lower back up off the floor. So you can use your thumbs to help leverage that. Squeeze the knees in and reach straight. Knees in, reach straight. Try not to let the knees come away from the chest. And reach. So if you wanted to and you had a brick handy, you bring that brick right onto your chest, right between, onto your abdomen, squeeze it in there. Try not to drop it. Let's do 5 more. Squeeze in, reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Squeeze, and then release that down. Windshield wiper your legs a time or 2. And then bring your hands back beside your ears. Lift your legs up, and then hug them in towards your chest. Release your legs down. Knees up towards your rib cage. Extend the legs. Reach your toes. Lower back comes down. Heels come down. Extend your legs. Heels touch. Lift them up. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten the legs and reach. Hips come down. Bend the knees. Extend the legs. Pull the knees in. Straighten the legs. Curl it back. Lower back down. Bend the knees. Keep the knees into the ribs. Reach forward. Knees to ribs. Curl it back. Straighten the legs and touch. Bend the knees. Or lower back down. Bend the knees. Reach forward. Last one. Knees in. Reach the legs. Toes touch. Lower back down. Bend the knees. Squeeze. Reach forward. And then release. Release for a moment. Let the lower back release. The hip, front of the hips release. Maybe draw the knees in. Nice. Then draw them in. Rock up. We'll come to downward facing dog. So hips towards the sky. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Finish your exhale. Look forward. Float forward. Set down. And then so from here, very similar forms of poses here. We're just going to work at them from different arrangements. So the first one, Janu Shirshasana. So we'll take the right foot in, left foot straight out in front. Reach forward. You can almost touch your foot. Take your claws, pull back. That'll open up your chest. And then activate through your front leg. Make it strong. And then maybe you lift it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release. Reach forward. Find your front foot. Lift the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release. Hug it back. Take your right heel, bring it back. Tiranga Mukha Kapala Paschimottanasana. Block underneath your hip if you need. Reach forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Bring your hands down beside your foot and lift that leg up 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Release. Then from here, taking your same shin, the same leg, and then hug it into this form. So we started here, compression in the knee, kept the compression in the knee, brought it back, same thing. It helps keep the knee safe. Then here, hug it in here, reach your right arm up and back, reach forward for your front foot, and then feel that leg, find some buoyancy. Bring your right hand down beside you. We don't have too much in the lower back here, so we're gonna bring our hand here, left hand can stay beside you, and then hug your core. See if you can lift that leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then release. Wiggle out that leg, release this leg out in front. Wow, that's a smoker for the thigh, so we'll have to equalize that. Pull the knee in, right? Open it up, Janu Shirshasana. Then bring your hands out in front. Lift your front leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release it down, and then reach for your stretch. That opens up the outside of the hip, and so it gives us a little bit of of release on the thigh muscle. 4, and then 5. Inhale, lift your chin, and exhale, release back. Tiranga Mukha, so bringing your left shin bone, hug it in, keep it in tight. Let it come back behind you, toes point straight back. And reach forward, find your front foot. So the nature of this posture is already giving us some movement in the thigh. 1. Sometimes using the hand to the outside will help if you don't have a brick handy. 4, and then 5. Inhale, look up, exhale the hands right back to the floor 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release. Take your left knee, hug it back. Marichyasana. Left arm reaches out in front. Bring the hand out in front. You can grab your big toe for a moment to wiggle your way through. And then 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release. Both legs out in front. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So we really worked those thigh muscles quite a lot. We're going to work on getting a little bit of a release. But first, vinyasa. Cross your ankles. Hands out in front. Up dog. Nice. Down dog. Hips to the sky. And then step forward or float forward. Set down. So now, working with similar forms that we've been in, we're going to take our right knee and draw it in so left leg will stay straight out in front. And what we're first going to do is bring our right heel back beside us. And then as we move into the posture, I'm not sure if I need a brick, but maybe it'll be useful. And we're just going to slowly lay back onto our elbows and let the head be heavy. Now, that can be good for most people. That's a nice stretch through the thigh. We just strengthen those muscles, so they should be giving us a lot of feedback. Let sensation be another avenue for the release of the mind. You can bend your left leg and hug your left thigh up towards your chest. You can bring it in just to this place. I'm good here. I'm getting a lot of stretch here. It's taking me a little extra energy to soften. And so I want to honor that. Other people might bring their knee all the way up into their chest for a really big stretch. I don't feel like it today. I feel like I'm pretty tight, so I'm going to just stay right here and be happy with it. And then extending left leg forward, elbows into the floor, come on up. And then release your right foot up, and then extend it forward. Left leg, bring your left heel back, same action, hugging in, bring your elbows down to the floor. You could stay here, it's a decent pose, you're getting a good release in the front of the left thigh and hip flexors, or all the way down onto your shoulders. You can stay there, or bring your right leg in, if that's comfortable is a relative word here. You can pull your right knee up into your chest. Again, I'm feeling pretty good at this, right here at this point. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then from here, extend the right leg first. Come up onto your elbows, walk it back, and then release. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross your shins, pull your knees up, and step back or float, chaturanga. Up dog, and then down dog, hips to the sky before bringing them down. All right, so this next posture, it's got a couple of different forms. So when we're looking at postures, especially if you look on Instagram a lot, you'll see what's called what's referred to as a hollow back posture. And a large part of what that is the shoulders draw back. So there's a hollow body, which is in the front of the body when we're doing like a posture as in kind of this form, when we hollow the front of the body as we're moving into it. So we're pulling the belly button back. This is different. It's almost the opposite. We're trying to create hollowness between the shoulder blades. It can be a very intense action. It shouldn't be taken lightly because it is a lot of front opening of the chest, but the shoulders can spin out, and so it can be kind of risky in the shoulders. So be super mindful that this particular form that we'll work on here is a method for learning to really dig into your backward bend, okay? So we're gonna float up into almost as if we were going into a handstand or a scorpion pose, but then we're gonna take our butt to the wall and maybe bend the knees so that the knees come towards your chest. Maybe you just slide your feet down the wall, but we're gonna make contact with it. The last thing we're gonna do is we're really gonna let our chest open up. So please watch the first time. I just like the attention, basically. Just kidding. So the hands aren't too far away. They're not too close either. And what I want to be able to do is release my butt against the wall. So it's better to start short and then move away for your second or third set. So I'm going to start in something like a down dog. And just like I'm kicking up to go into a handstand against the wall, I'm going to lift my chest, push into the floor, and then I'm going to float up and I'm going to catch myself with my lifted foot. So I float up and I bring it back. And so I'm here and taking both legs up and then taking your feet and then pressing your hips against the wall and coming into this pattern. Now, if that's fine, bend your knees, squeeze in, draw your chest through, but mindful of your shoulders. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And go ahead and release. Now, there is a tendency to almost freak out when you're up there because it's because you feel like you're pushing against the wall, like your weight's on the wall, but your chest is moving this way, and so your brain's response is to not love it. But once you figure it out, it is a very enjoyable form, and so I do recommend it. So we'll go after it the second time. I'll cue on it more this time. I like to have the padding underneath the wrists. If you ever feel like you need extra padding underneath your wrists so that because the angles are just a lot, this can be definitely a posture for that that can cause that. You can take and make just a little bit more of a shelf there so your heel of the hand is on your mat, then the fingers are off of the edge of the mat, and that can change it quite a lot. So let's go ahead and go after it. All right, so find yourself up on the wall. So kick up, land gently, and then bring your hips to the wall and melt the heart through. 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and release it down. And let's do one more just to build the strength in the shoulders. Pick your posture, prepare, and then go for it. Kick up there. And breathing. 1. I wish I could see you guys. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Release down. Take a child's pose. And then go ahead and come up to seated. And so that form of posture can just be really good about getting a little bit of an upper back bend, nice lower back rotate of the hips dropping down over a period of time. And it's hard for me to demonstrate with the cloth on the wall, but you can actually pull your heels downward and then create even more of a back bend. And that can be really useful. But the shoulder blades moving back almost as if we were in that same Utkatasana form here as you draw your arms through. So it can be nice and useful. All right, let's go ahead and lay on our back. Take your legs out in front. And let's bring our heels in, windshield wiper your legs a couple times to both sides. And then from here, taking and bring your knees over towards the right side. And then take your left arm and reach. Your left knee is going to reach long. Use your left big toe to push. Create that length in the side body. Feel the side of the hip flexor, which took a lot of engagement today. See if you can create some space. Reach your right arm up above your head. Roll over onto your right shoulder. And then come up into a twist. Squeeze your knee and your heel together as you rotate your body open. Maybe extend your arms forward. And twist. And then coming back up onto your hands, draw your arm under, roll over onto your back, and bring your knees over towards the left side. Use your right big toe mound push. Reach your right arm up and above your head. Roll your shoulder back. And then from there, reach your left arm up above your head. Roll over onto your left shoulder. Heel and knee press together. Come up into your twist. Maybe your elbows are down. Samprati Hum. And then take your left arm under, roll over onto your back. Bring your knees towards touching. Let your legs open up to the sides. Keep your feet wide, away from one another, and then you're rocking side to side. Get some movement there. Extend your legs out in front towards the corners of the mat. And then as quickly as you can, about 100 times, maybe even 105 times, maybe 108. Keep it auspicious. Whip your feet back and forth as fast as you can. Feel the ankles soften, the muscles relaxing a little bit, the tendons, the ligaments, everything's getting a little bit of space in a very controlled way. Knees opening up a little bit, create some space there. The hips, the lower back, dissolving the tension. Let the lower back kind of rise and fall in a gentle way. A little bit quicker, 5. Let those joints decompress, 4. A little bit faster, 3, 2, and 1. Savasana. I think as we grow up, we learn to concern ourselves with many, many different things. And to do so, we concentrate on learning about what happened in the past so that we can anticipate in the future. And what that ends up being is an over-analysis of the past and, in a way, creating an anxiety for the future. In other words, all sorts of compulsions can stem from paying too much attention to either the fiction of the past that may or may not have happened exactly as we thought it did, and maybe a future that does not yet exist. And instead, when we want to feel whole, we want to feel present, when we want to feel complete, when we want to feel a union, a yoga, we move towards a present moment. The only thing that is truly what is within that moment. Everything else is it could be, or it should be, or it could have been. It's qualified. It's dependent on other actions, other happenings, other objects. The only thing we truly know is what's going on in this instant right now. Present moment is like a razor's edge that separates our consciousness of the present moment, the consciousness, our awareness, our tendency to kind of be within that singular field of our existence. That's what separates that from all of the other stuff that is an illusion. Like I said, it's something that could have been, a ghost of the past, an anticipation of the future. And so when we do our yoga practice, we are on that edge. We are paying attention to what we're doing, deep concentration and awareness, and immediately it's gone. Wish you all a wonderful evening. Please stay, rest as long as you can in your savasana. You owe it to yourself, to those around you. Be healthy, be free, be well. About to you. Namaste.